Okay, look, most people, they fail miserably at changing their life. Not because they're lazy, but because their body keeps dragging them into their old self, back into their old self. Let me show you the top five mistakes that keep you trapped, and how to actually break free from this loop. So, first, the costume self. This, see, too many people, they think that an identity shift is just about wearing a new mask, dressing different, talking different, posting different. See, that's the costume self. This is the costume self. You look the part on the outside, but inside, your nervous system still thinks you're the same scared, reactive little person you've always been. You're pretending to be a king, but you're still bowing to your old self-image. The truth is, the battlefield is in your freaking body. Until your cells believe, the costume will burn away, and the old self will take the throne again and again and again. So how do we actually remove this costume self and actually shift into our desired identity? Number one, I want you to use daily micro exposures. What does that mean? I want you to intentionally put yourself in the volcano. Yes, that's a volcano. It's exploding. I want you to put yourself in small situations where your new identity would literally thrive. And it's going to feel like you're throwing yourself into a volcano. But it's necessary because it bypasses the costume and it really gets to the root of the matter. And I want you to pair this with breath work or grounding so that your body learns this is safe, okay? That's sort of the key here, is this is safe, okay? When you're safe, you stop trying to be, okay? There's no trying, okay? And you teach your body the new you. New. Do you see how this works? You must bypass the costume. Okay, so number two, the death phase. Whoop. The death phase. So this is the mistake of the death phase. You're literally avoiding the grief and emptiness of letting go of your old self. So the past identity keeps pulling you back. Here's how we really, really set this in stone. And this is going to sound weird, but this has helped me greatly. And I know that if you just try this, it will blow your freaking mind. I want you to schedule a funeral. I want you to schedule a funeral for the old you, okay? This literally is the way to burn the old self in this physical reality. I want you to write letters, okay? This is so key. Write letters, and then I want you to burn those letters. Yes, physically burn the letter. And your old journals, all that stuff where, you were just venting and venting and venting. I think a lot of people call it rampaging. I want you to do that and burn them. Burn them. Consciously know that you are burning the old identity as you do this. Now, this will remove the symbols of that version, okay? Energetically, metaphysically. After you've done this, you're going to allow a period of quiet. Whoop. Okay. These low stimuli days where you feel, you're really just feeling the void instead of feeling it instantly. Okay. This is where you start to build. And we're talking both physically and metaphysically here. Metaphysically, let's just super side note, you are changing realities billions of times per second. You are a new you every single second. The physical body is not like that. You have to do things like journaling, burning those letters, staying in that quiet calm. Now I want you to recognize that this is this first sign that this is working for you. You feel lost. You are lost. You feel like there's no future, there's no hope. This is the middle of the shift. This is the middle ground. You're not falling apart. You're not broken. You are the caterpillar in the cocoon about to emerge a butterfly. That is what's happening. So, the death phase, people forget about this. They just want to bypass everything and not have to put up with what actually happens when you go through this process of identity shifting. Okay? It doesn't matter what you're doing. Meditating, scripting, journaling, I don't care. All of those things will bring you to the now moment so that you can realize your new identity. Now, number 3. So number 3 is building the new without dismantling, the old self. This happens because you're layering affirmations, new habits, a vision board on top of subconscious beliefs you have not uprooted, that you have not faced. Okay? This is the power of shadow work. This is where shadow work comes in so brilliantly because you know the path to the new you. That's pretty easy to figure out. We can map it out. But as you take the steps to get there, you're going to find the old you will keep popping its head back up. And a lot of people, they will just keep throwing new affirmations or new habits on top of it, trying to mask it instead of uprooting it and facing it. That is the true path. You can try other ways, but you're going to end up not making the progress that you really, really want. Okay? So something you can do to counteract this is the What would I do? What would I do? This is daily practice of what would my old self believe about this, about blank. Okay, that consciously rejects or rewrites your story because you can't completely fake it till you make it. In the beginning, these help, especially if you're really deep down in the muck. Fake it till you make it will help you get out of the muck. But eventually, you're going to have to do the real work. So, this is the real work. This is the spiritual warrior journey. This is the bullshit that people don't want to talk about and nobody wants to do. They want the quick fix. Give me the meditation. Give me the affirmation that's going to change my life. It doesn't fucking work like that. Forget about that shit. Realize that these are the basically the 5 phases that you're going to have to expect on your journey. Okay? You want to strip the old wiring until it can't run the show anymore. Okay? You have to strip it clean. You can use somatic release, movement, breath, vocal releases. I personally use music. I love playing guitar. I will play air drums sometimes and just go nuts because it's a release. It's a physical release. This is an energetic pattern that needs to be broken with more energy. We can smash it in half. And that is the purpose of this. You need to dismantle the old story by not denying the subconscious. Okay? Now, let's go to number 4. Number 4, expecting instant external validation. Okay? Keyword, instant validation. This is so fucked. You will start needing others to notice and confirm your shift before believing it's real. You keep looking for external factors to tell you that your identity is the correct one. This is bullshit. That keeps you literally dependent on other people's perception of you. Okay? Screw all that. Screw the likes. Screw the followers. Okay? Screw the image, the self-image that you want to project on the world. Get rid of all that. Literally, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Now, here's what I want you to do. Stop watching the scoreboard. Stop watching the scoreboard. Okay? I want you to commit, literally commit, really commit to 90 days of internal proof only before you check the how. Okay? Internal proof. This comes in the form of, how am I acting? Okay? And just like the previous one, how would my highest self think? Whoops. And act. My writing is terrible. Sorry about this writing. That is the proof you need. Internal proof, not external proof. Screw that crap. Okay? And if you want to even go further, you can have a proof log, okay, where you go through and you log all of the internal proofs that you have managed to see, which they'll show up. They will show up. They'll be there. Okay? The moments, the choices, okay? The wins that confirm you are already living it. Okay? For example, a lot of people will go look at their bank account, right? They go look at their bank account and it's in the negative balance. Okay? They see that and that defines their reality. Instead of completely going back to their transactions and looking at how much they actually saved, how diligent they were at their spending. They didn't buy that bullshit this month, okay? They didn't spend it on that crap. They actually made progress if you look at it from the internal. When you start seeing things from the inside, okay, instead of being like, oh, my balance is zero, when look at all the transactions you did. Look at how much you saved. You didn't buy all that pizza, all that fast food, okay? Maybe you didn't buy any booze. Who knows, whatever it may be. You've made progress. Look at the progress you've made and make that your identity. Another way you can do this is speak to yourself the way you wish others would. Okay? This is so freaking important. Your subconscious listens to your tone first. Your subconscious operates on frequency. Remember that. You can speak in a way that your new self would speak. The old self speaks one way. The new identity does not. Okay? It does not. Start to do this. Speak to yourself the way you wish others would. Okay? Your subconscious listens to your tone first. And we're going to leave it at that. Now, let's go to the last one, number 5. So, number 5. This is so huge because people just don't want to do these things. It is ridiculous and sickening to see how desperate people are for change, but how unwilling they are to do any work to get it. That is ridiculously gross to me. You have to take action. You have to build something. Like, stop being a fucking baby about everything and just do something for you. Okay? If you have trouble putting effort into your growth, look at what you're doing throughout the day. How much are you on the screen? How much are you on YouTube watching mindless content, not taking action? How much crap food are you eating? Okay? You have to look at your life. Really take an audit of your life and make the necessary changes to be better. The new you isn't going to sit around and eat fucking Taco Bell all day and watch the news. That is not your new identity. Start acting like your new identity. Okay? Without making it a mask, without making it a costume, you have to become it with your nervous system, your energy. Okay? Now, number 5, you're not creating trigger rituals And this is something that I created that I've helped so many people with. You have to create something that you can tangibly do. The first thing you understand is an interrupt. Is there two R's? Interrupt. Whatever. Interrupt. Getting pulled back into old patterns. Okay? Because you don't have an interrupt when the old identity fires up, if that makes sense. So, for example, you're always going to have negative thoughts come up. I still do. I still have the old me pop in from here and there. It's not as strong as it used to be, of course. But look, if anybody tells you that they're just all hunky-dory and nothing affects them anymore and they're just completely a whole new different person and the old person is completely gone, I don't believe that one bit, and I would definitely call them out because it'll always pop back up. It'll always pop back up. It just keeps getting quieter and quieter. And eventually, there is an override, and that's your new baseline. But that doesn't mean that that programming goes away. You will have instances where it pops back up. So here's what you need to do. Identify 3, well, let's say the top 3 triggers that pull you into the old you, okay? What pulls you back? What is that that keeps pulling you back, or something that you keep doing? This is where meditative practices come in. When you align, when you center from that 0 point, that is where you can become aware of simple awareness of what is happening. That is in the description. If you want the exact meditation, it's in the description. Check it out. It's free. That is the 0 point reset. So when you create these instant interrupts, you can do this on a physical level as well. Now, this is super easy. And I mean, anybody can do this. When you start feeling those old beliefs and that old BS come up, you can take physical action. Do 10 push-ups. Just 10. Do 10 squats. Everybody can do this. If you can't do 10 air squats or air push-ups, you have a problem and you need to take your physical health into more consideration. You need to get in the gym. You need to start working out. You need to start really getting your body back up, because that's going to hinder your progress greatly. Because the new you is not a lazy fucking piece of shit that doesn't do anything. The new you, this is easy. This is nothing. Actually, 20 push-ups and 20 squats is a warm-up. Do you see how that works? What others? You could do ice bath, ice shower. Okay, you could splash it on your face. You can do a power mantra. Now this you can create yourself. Or you can even go online and have AI do it for you. Have it create some power mantras for you that you can say to really create that interrupt, okay? When those triggers pop up. This is the ritual. You must take a hold of the reins. And if you do this, your life will change. Your reality will shift, okay? Another thing you can do, loud music. This is one of my favorites. I freaking love music. I will blast classical music. That's just the most epic soundtracky stuff. Man, it gets me there. I love it. That stuff shifts me into a whole new dimension at this point. I love it. And what else my God, there's so many other things. Let's just say etc. etc. Whatever you like. Something to interrupt the pattern. That's the key, is we need to interrupt. Okay, so let's take it all the way back. Let's take it all the way back. Recap the costume self. Too many people think an identity shift is just about wearing a new mask, dressing different, talking different, posting different. That's the costume. You look the part on the outside, but inside, your nervous system is fried. It still thinks the same scared, reactive things that you've always thought. Okay? You're pretending, but you're still bowing to the old self image. That's number one. Number two, the death phase. Whoop. Come on. The death phase. Every new identity is born from death. Okay? The caterpillar to the butterfly, the phoenix from the ashes. Most people run from that death. They try to drag the old self into the new life. Do you see how that would be absolutely just... That would be boggling to do to yourself. Why? Why would you do that? You can't do that. You've got to bury them. You've got to let the old patterns, the old relationships, the old comfort zones burn in the fucking fire. The death phase is brutal. I'm not going to lie to you. This is brutal. And this is where a lot of people get stuck because it's so hard. They're so connected to their old identity, they don't want to let go. Use the steps I've laid out. Write letters, burn those letters, sit in silence with your new self. Okay? The first sign this is working is you feel lost. You feel completely lost. That is the middle ground where you are in the cocoon metamorphosizing into a butterfly. Number three, the old story still lives. Okay? Building the new without dismantling the old self. This is so crucial. Your story is either your sword or your shackle. So most people think they've shifted, but they're still telling the same story in secret. Okay? And the shadow work will expose this. You cannot keep secrets when you actually look inside. When you put awareness on your subconscious, you cannot hide from it. It's right there in your face. This is the part of meditative practices that people cannot do, especially those who are completely self-absorbed, psychotic people, narcissistic people that can't do this, because you have to look at the true you. So this is just who I am. I've always been this way. That's poison disguised as truth. Okay? The warrior rewrites the script. He cuts through the paragraphs that don't serve the mission. Okay? He speaks life into himself, not the old story. Okay? When you speak life into yourself until the old story dies, this is the real work. And a practice for this, what would I do? What would I do? What would the newest, highest version of myself do in this situation? Very important. Okay, so number 4. Instant validation. I see this so much. Oh my God, I see this so much. You need to stop watching the scoreboard, okay? How am I today? How would my highest self think and act? These are questions you should be asking yourself. Internal questions that break the false narrative. Stop watching the scoreboard. Views, subscribers, followers, likes. Fuck that shit. That means nothing. It means nothing. This is where warriors fall from the inside out. You shift your identity, but then you look over your shoulder and you're like waiting for the village to clap. Oh, yay, you did it. Now you are enough. The second you do that, you've literally just handed your new self over to their approval. And when they don't give it, you crawl back into what's familiar. You go straight back into the old identity. The true warrior builds in silence. You do not need them or anyone to believe it at all. They'll see it when they see it. Until then, you keep swinging the sword. That's all I have to say about the validation trap. Number 5, trigger rituals. So we need to create an interrupt because your old self does not die just because you decide. Okay? And this goes against a lot of spiritual teachers because they solely focus on the spiritual aspect of us and not the human aspect of us. In spirit, you can decide right now, this is who I am. Okay? But your old self is going to pop its head back up over and over, and you need an interrupt for these triggers. Identify 3 of these triggers that point to, they represent the old you. You'll see them, especially if you've been meditating. If you've been meditating, you're way more aware and emotionally secure throughout the day. So, the habits, the smells, the songs, the places that pull you back. Recognize them, and then in that moment, create an interrupt, okay? Because we don't want to avoid these triggers. We want to face them head on. We want to become aware of them so that we can tackle them, crush them, and throw them out the fucking window, okay? And become the new you, the new us, the new we, the new I. This is so freaking important. When you create these rituals, old beliefs, the old BS goes right out the freaking window because you have recognized it and you create a physical pattern interrupt, okay, which breaks it up, and this really fast tracks your shifting. This is how you make crazy progress, okay? You can do breath work, okay, before you speak. You can do power postures before you act, mantras before you step into the fight. Okay, this is how you make the new self your default, even under fire. And like I said before, look, push-ups, squats, ice bath. You can just throw cold water in your face. Make yourself a power mantra. Listen to music, that's a big one. Everybody loves something having to do with music. Everybody loves something. Do it and create that interrupt, okay? And don't shove these triggers down or do away with them. Remember what I said. This is secondary to awareness. Awareness is number 1. Numero uno. Become aware of these triggers interrupt, there you go. You could even create more. I think you get the point. You can create more of these. Because look, you can't just wish your way into a new identity. You burn for it. You bleed for it. You let the old you die in the fire, and you stand in the ashes until the new you rises. These 5 mistakes that I've just laid out, they're traps for the weak. For the weak. You are not that, because you're here on this channel. You are a spiritual warrior. You understand that this is progress that we are making right now, right here in this moment. Don't avoid them, and put yourself in that rare few who actually, they don't do what they want. Wait. Put yourself in the rare few who actually become what they say they want. This is the war for your soul. And no one's coming to save you, my friend. It's you, your breath, your focus, your will. If you're ready to stop playing the old game and step into the self you were born to be, stop watching, start becoming. Click link in the description, set up a call. I'll see if I can help you. If I can, I'll say so. If not, I will be exactly upfront about that as well. Peace, my friend.